Okay. Hey guys.
Ready, sweetheart?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Let's kick it.
The sad parents. All right, let's do it.
And with that, we were on our way, on a year-long trip to take advantage of the work situation we'd been blessed with. We've got a lot of traveling planned and even more things to see. It's not all going to be good times and adventure, but if you're interested in seeing it all, we're happy to have you along with us.
During our first day of travel, we were drenched with rain coming up from the south. We got off to a bit of a late start due to a lazy morning and our cat, who isn't the most fond of traveling. We also knew that it was going to be one of the longer days, since the campground that we had originally planned on reserving, it had run out of spots before we were able to grab one. So on that day, we went about an hour and a half longer than we'd been planning. And then after the rain came some gale force winds.
But we arrived safely and were greeted by a wonderful sight right on the water, with plenty of shorebirds stopping in to say hi.
Our first port of call was Stella, North Carolina, located only a 15-minute drive from Emerald Isle.
I was really excited to see what the Core Banks had to offer. Growing up, I'd spent every 4th of July in the northern part of the Outer Banks, but I'd never been this far south on the Carolina coast before. Our first long travel day was less than ideal, but we were really excited to finally be doing something we'd been planning on for a long time. Our site was beautiful, there was plenty of experiences to be had, and plenty of memories to be made.
For our first excursion, we decided to see what the beaches of Emerald Isle had to offer. It's been a long time since I had been to the ocean, and this was Raina's first time ever seeing the ocean. With views like this, and an almost windless day, we had to try out the drone to catch this amazing shoreline.
Raina loved having the wide open beach to run around on.
And both of us loved having a beach full of cool shells to pick through.
But seeing as it was a work day, we did have to pack up and get back to it. But it was the first time we'd ever been able to take the truck out on the beach, so that was nice. And Ayla collected a lot of seashells.
I couldn't help it. They were everywhere and they were so big.
We were able to finish our work day at a local dog cafe, Muddigan's. Raina was able to freely browse the aisles while Ayla hosted a recording session and I had a meeting. Working from home definitely has its perks.
The next time we were able to get out, we went to Cape Lookout National Seashore, where we got to see dolphins playing in the water. The town was also celebrating their annual Core Sound Duck Decoy Festival. They even had a crab pot Christmas tree. There was a pier that was full of pelicans, and if you've ever seen a pelican yawn or dive into the water, they are absolutely ridiculous. And now, every time I see them, I think of Bill.
While the main decoy show was at the local high school, there was a local market full of craftsmen set up at the museum. Oh, wow, that's cute.
Out of a mason jar, that's awesome.
I like them light bulbs. We found a sweet shop that sold hush puppies covered in powdered sugar on top of a cup of vanilla ice cream. It was quite the decadent treat, to be sure.
Inside the Waterfowl Museum, they were celebrating the season with their Festival of Trees, where community organizations could decorate a tree in memory of someone or represent what they do. It was beautiful, and some of the trees were absolutely enchanting.
The museum really focuses on the community of the core sound, and they take their duck decoy making very seriously, and rightfully so. There were some beautiful pieces. They also had a research library where Ayla was able to do an interview with a curator for a podcast. It was beautiful, but we decided that we'd have to come later in the week with fewer people around to really get into the guts of this museum. On our next outing, we were heading to the aquarium, but we couldn't resist stopping by the beach at least one more time to give Raina a little more time to enjoy the sand on her paws and the shells on the beach.
It was comforting to know that I wasn't the only one who was madly in love with all of these beautiful shells. In fact, during many of our drone takes, Dakota found me bent over looking for the next best shell to add to my collection.
And while it might have been a little bit dark and dreary, it was really nice to see the beach again. After Raina had gotten her exercise, we packed up to find more water. Not on the beach, but in the aquarium. We were greeted by a school of festive fishes as we entered the North Carolina Aquarium at Pine Knoll Shores. The aquarium was differentiated between different aquatic ecosystems that you'll find throughout North Carolina. From mountain streams down to the coastal waters, North Carolina's mountains get more rain than anywhere else in the eastern U.S. And it has nearly 300 waterfalls, not including the ones inside the aquarium, of course. There's also 37,000 miles of freshwater streams.
I've never seen a hellbender in person before and was so excited to finally see one. The eastern hellbender is one of only 3 giant salamanders found in the world, and though normally about 16 to 17 inches long, they can become more than 2 feet long and weigh more than 3 pounds. They have poor eyesight and are mostly nocturnal, using touch and smell to catch their food. The frill you see around the body that looks like lace, it's extra skin to help the hellbender absorb dissolved oxygen in fast-running water. North Carolina is home to more than 65 different species of salamanders.
Sea turtles were housed throughout the aquarium, but this juvenile loggerhead was particularly adorable.
And what better way to end our first week in Stella, North Carolina, than with a diamondback terrapin, the state reptile of Maryland.
And since we're releasing this on Christmas Eve, it looks like, we'd also like to wish you and yours a very Merry Christmas.
And the happiest of holidays.